All up at the top of the goal square for Diamond Creek. Good morning, Anthony.
Morning, Brendan. So much to look forward to in this match as Diamond Creek try to go forward long to the goal square. Bouncing football across the face and through for one behind. So the first score in this final round match in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. And it goes the way of Diamond Creek. Winner, as Brendan mentioned, finishes in second spot on the ladder and gets the double chance and lies up against Darebin Falcons in a qualifying final in a fortnight's time.
Ball back into play. Quick kick out of defence came from Lachlan for the Muggers. Finds about 40 metres and goes out of bounds. Just on the defensive side of centre wing. Big game for Diamond Creek. They've been top of the ladder most of the year. Lost that spot to Darebin in the past couple of weeks and now fighting for their double chance. Alison Downey playing her 100th game. Congratulations to her. She won the tap. Hope she has a big one for her sake for Diamond Creek. That includes, of course, VFLW and VWFL games. Ball to Lachlan for Melbourne Uni. Gets a quick kick towards the wing. Bouncing ball at the back. Hetherington left it behind but managed to have time to go back and get it. Little kick came out wide now and found Kirby Hicks. Just on the defensive side of the wing, Hicks kicks straight into the player on the mark. Has to go again. Ball doesn't sit up to it for Cantwell. Can't go through. Little hand pass back for Melbourne Uni. That is Blackburn. Kick smothered. Working her way through is Saxton. Dispossessed. Good tackle that. And Rennie Hicks can't get away with it. And we'll have a ball up. No, free kick in fact for high contact going to Rennie Hicks.
Interesting, the matchup of Cecilia McIntosh. She's got the job today on Chloe Malloy. McIntosh, since her return to the team, has been playing a bit more forward, so going back into a more common defensive role today and trying to stop Malloy from winning the Choose Tap goal kicking title.
They almost made a mess of that Diamond Creek, but it's now in the hands of Kennedy, who goes short. Chest mark dropped by Kirby Hicks. Turnover time. This is Carney. Goes on the 1-2 with Edward. Carney kicks up towards half forward. Bit of a fumble there on the boot by Hope. Couldn't get it away. Now it is DeBorderly. Dispossessed. It's scrambly, it's wet conditions. We've had already 2 of the 4 seasons in a day here at Melbourne this morning. Perfect sunshine, then a hailstorm, now perfect sunshine again. But the surface is quite wet underfoot and it'll make footy difficult for both teams.
Just keeping an eye on the matchups. Moorcroft has got the job on Moana Hope today. Both teams playing a extra player back in defence as Kiochi brings the ball along this broadcast side wing, looking for Malloy. Great handball, gets it onto Williams. Williams back to Malloy, 50 metres out, goes long towards the vacant goal square, bouncing football off to the right-hand side. So second behind on the board for Diamond Creek. A 32nd goal of the season, eluding Chloe Malloy. Needing one more to tie with Darebin's Katie Brennan, who kicked 5 yesterday. And she needs 2 to take out the title and take out her second goal-kicking title of the year after taking out the TAC Cup Girls competition leading goal kicker earlier in the season.
What a fantastic performance that'd be at 18 years of age to win 2 goal-kicking awards, and I'm quite sure she'll find herself drafted pretty soon based on that form. Boundary throw in, the kick-in was chopped off by Bernardi. Bucks, well, we'll both miss it. It went over their head. Carney was caught high and will get a free kick for the Muggers. So Emma Carney goes to the outer side. It's dry out there. Downey, it's over her head. The 100 gamer, hand pass back from Williams. Running into a tackle was Audley. Quick kick forward eventually after shrugging that tackle. That was good. The mark taken there by Kennedy. About 60 metres from goal. She'll set it up into the pocket, looking for Williams, couldn't find her. Trying to work the way out of there was Pound, not going to do so. We'll have another ball up. So the second spot on the line here, how important is that, especially considering that it's Darebin and their first semi-finalist is most likely to be the dangerous St Kilda Sharks?
Well, I think St Kilda's had a pretty good track record against especially Melbourne Uni this year. That was their last defeat, going down to the St Kilda Sharks. So I think both teams wanting to avoid the Sharks. The Sharks, of course, needing to defeat Cranbourne today, and if they do, they'll lock in their final spot. But Geelong still in the mix as De Bortley marks in defensive 50, finds Chiocci, who goes wide to Hetherington. Fantastic season by the former coach, coming back from injury. Played all 14 games for the season.
And she's a real general across half-back, isn't she, for Diamond Creek, Tanya Hetherington. Very calm head, knows exactly what it takes.
Frees up so many players in their defensive half. And a better year with injury this year for the Creekers, as Melbourne Uni the ball on the broadcast side wing. And we'll have a ball up as Kristen Hay gets up from the bottom of the pack.
Right in front of our broadcast position. Ball tapped down there by Shearlaw. Quick kick away from Lachlan, who's had a bit of it early doors. Left behind by Hetherington. Little hand pass through from Spark. Still a scoring opportunity here. Little hand pass back. Ibrahim kicks across towards half forward. Bernardi's pushed back for Diamond Creek. Gave the hand pass off to Saxton. Well, it's been called a throw. Not so sure about that. Although they are closer to it than we are. Free kick will go to Melbourne University.
Lucky no 50-metre penalty, but I think the umpire just giving the benefit of the doubt that the kick was just going as the whistle was blown.
So Alicia Eva, who has headed to the Giants in the AFLW competition for next season. Star performer for Melbourne University. 45 metres out, kicks towards the top of the goal square. The numbers back for Diamond Creek. It'll be booted away by Moorcroft.
So Lachlan leads in the race for the football, but the ball over the line. You mentioned about Alicia Eva, one of 7 Melbourne Uni players selected for the All-Stars AFL Women's game next Saturday night at Etihad Stadium. Free entry, 7:40 start, and 9 players on the park today taking part in that game. As we mentioned, 7 from Melbourne Uni, with Lauren Spark a late inclusion, along with Moana Hope this week. As Deanna Berry leads in the race up against Chiocci. Both players sliding at the football. Great work to get back to her feet by Chiocci. Kicks it up towards half forward. No one to kick to. Plenty of Melbourne Uni players getting the handball back. Stevenson on this broadcast side wing, made to work for it with Bernardi. And we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of the Diamond Creek coach's box.
You couldn't really ask for a better way for to fill in the bye weekend, could you, with a State of Origin game in the women's footy? That will be fantastic next Saturday night, and I'm sure they'll get a big crowd.
24 VFL women's players in total will take part in that game as well.
Fantastic stuff, and fantastic kudos to the VFLW competition, as the mark was taken by Gretsch, who brought it in short to Chiocci. He's getting a lot of it into the centre of the ground. That first tackle looked like it could have been high. Umpire said no play on De Bortley. Little chance now for the Muggers, and away goes Berry. Runs inside 50. Oh. Well, she aimed it low and she kicked it straight onto the chest of Lauren Moorcroft, who moved it away quickly. Brazali dropped the chest mark, has to keep going. Knocked away from her by Ibrahim. And she has to go in now and save the day. Can't do so. Flicked out the back. Stevens isn't allowing it to come clear. And we'll have a ball up over on the driest part of the ground on the outer wing.
Well, missed opportunity for their first score.
Tried to be a bit deliberate with the kick rather than just going for home, didn't she, Berry? Kick inside 50. Hope tracks it here for Melbourne Uni. Outside of the right boot. Can't bring it back, and it's through for the first score for Melbourne University. They are 1 behind. Diamond Creek are 2 on the scoreboard midway through the first term.
And plenty of the football on that outer side wing in this first term. Round 14 action, Swisse Wellness VFL Women's, and a bit of a trek out onto the ground pre-match, and that's the dry side of the ground.
It is, yeah. It looks fantastic on the screen. As you can see, the ground in excellent condition for this time of year, but this hailstorm we had about half an hour before the bounce has certainly left a lot of surface water across 3/4 of the oval, and that's making things difficult for both teams in the early stages.
So Moorcroft finding Saxton, just taking it short. Brazzali along the outer side wing. Now looking for a target at the back of the pack. Foot race ensues. Good work by Diamond Creek pushing the ball forward. Stevens leading in the race. Gets around her opponent. Kicks intercepted. Diamond Creek trying to keep it in their forward half. And the free kick's been paid. Will go the way of the Creekers on the outer side.
Yeah, looking to set up one in the face there as she was trying to go through.
Going to go long. Up towards forward 50. Inside the forward 50 arc now. Abatangelo over the football. Goes back in again. Gets her kick away. Long kick. Bouncing football. The race. Eva takes it over the line. Happy to see it through for a rush behind. And still awaiting our first major of this game.
You get the feeling they're going to be hard to come by.
They certainly are. Those 2 goals that Chloe Malloy needs will be worth gold today in this clash.
Carney kicks to the outer side. They will stick to that area because it is dry, but you can see across the ground how it's skidding when it hits the deck, and that's the advantage of being, I suppose, wet and slippery. You can judge the ball and get some extra distance out of it that way. Camp behind the play here is Kirby Hicks. Here she goes inside 50 through the hands of Malloy, tracking after the football. Bernardi, can she get a hand pass away? Can't. Dispossessed. The call was for holding the ball. Umpire said play on. Handball over the top from Blackburn. Flicked out wide, diving effort. No mark to Spark. It's going to come back in through Grant. Got it quickly across to Gretsch. Inside 50 she goes. Abatangelo couldn't pick it up. Dispossessed. Looked like Stevens. It was. Out the back now. Melbourne Uni can... They get clear, no hand pass away. Conti, her kick smothered and over the line for a throw-in. Great forward defensive pressure from the Creekers.
So ball inside that forward 50 arc. Halfway through the first term, round 14, Swisse Wellness. VFL women's action. Blackburn with the kick away. Lachlan trapped. Fierce tackle by Audley. And we'll see a ball up. 50 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal. 3 behinds plays 1 behind. Ibrahim led in the race for the football. Melbourne Uni under plenty of pressure in defensive 50 as the fierce tackle from Emma Grant. And we'll see another ball up. No love lost between these two teams, playing for second spot on the ladder.
Free kick now. There's a bit going on, and Grant's just been shoved in the face a couple of times as she's lying on the ground.
Umpire say no, we'll just have a ball up. Downey with the tap down. Kick straight down the corridor. Here's an opportunity for the Creekers. Went past Grant. Kick inside forward 50. Saxton. Williams now leading in the race. Dispossessed. Great work by Melbourne Uni holding up the play. And we'll see another ball out. Ball up 25 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal.
So most of the play has been down the Diamond Creek end, but they haven't been able to put a major on the board as yet. One down by Shearlaw for the Muggers. Abatangelo tries to flick it out. Shearlaw. Now a quick kick forward came from Loynes. Towards the pocket it goes. Pound. Can she get it away from there? Pressure's being applied by Malloy. She got trapped. And it's worked over the line again for another throw-in. 14, nearly 15 minutes gone in the first quarter. 3-1. It's a soccer score in the early doors here in Swisse Wellness VFL. Final round action with the double chance on the line. Rucks to go. Both of them missed it. Backing herself, throw was Carney. And the first contact was a little bit high, much to the disgust of the Diamond Creek supporters. Carney out towards the wing, through the hands of Spark. Kirby Hicks got it back to Kiochi. She goes into the centre of the ground, running hard to provide the option there. Was Rennie Hicks. Plays on, continues with the switch. Finds Brazzali, who provided the option for her. Lauren Brazzali sets it up towards half forward. That's a beautiful lace out pass to Bernardi. Wants to go quickly. Does. In towards the pocket. Over the head of Abertangelo. It'll skid away towards the pocket. And Gretsch will see it over for a throw in, and they can build again, Diamond Creek.
So, still inside that Diamond Creek forward 50. You've just tuned in. McIntosh has the job today on Diamond Creek spearhead Chloe Malloy. Down the other end of the ground, Moorcroft on Moana Hope. Players diving in over the football. A hail and rainstorm coming through about half an hour before the start of play today. And just adding a bit of surface water. Free kick's been found, and it will go the way of Diamond Creek.
Both ends of the experience spectrum, isn't it? Cecilia McIntosh up against Chloe Malloy. 20 years is the difference in the age gap there, although I don't want to embarrass McIntosh too much, but she certainly played a lot more footy than Chloe Malloy.
She has plenty of experience to show as well. Britt Gretsch with the free kick. She'll kick from about 35 metres out. Can she put the first goal on the board? Goal umpire barely has to move. And the first major of this morning's game on the board. It goes the way of Britt Gretsch. And Diamond Creek lead 1-3-9. Melbourne Uni one behind. Round 14 action of Swisse Wellness of VFL Women's. Anthony Stangetz and Brendan Rhodes with you this morning, live here at the main oval at Melbourne University.
I tell you what, the hailstorm you're talking about half an hour before the bounce, I don't like the look of the clouds heading back in this direction again. There might be more coming before this game's done, even though the bright sunshine now. 1 goal a game Britt Gretsch is averaging, 11 in 11. So it's a pretty good return for her. As the Muggers try to work through Deanna Berry, finally taken away by Blackburn, who kicked inside 50 and found the chest of Moana Hope. So Hope, who crossed mid-season from St Kilda after not playing in the first half of the year due to injury from her time at Collingwood at the start of the year. Kicked a century last year, only 12 goals so far this season. The kick's on its way, and it's a quick reply for the Muggers. Moana Hope gets her name on the score sheet, and Melbourne Uni go to 1-1-7, Diamond Creek 1-3-9 after 18 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, named during the week in the All-Stars team, a late inclusion. So, actually the leading scorer for Melbourne Uni this season, just in her 6th game of the year.
14 goals now, so I was one short on that.
So, she will be playing next Saturday night at Etihad Stadium, the All-Stars, and great doubleheader of action with the NAB AFL Women's Under-18 All-Australian game. Victoria versus the Allies in that match as well. And the All-Australian team from the Under-18 Championships will be selected from that game as Berry goes up towards forward 50. Gets it out towards Spark. Lachlan. Good work by Grant. Up the tap away. Hope. Sliding in Spark again. Dispossessed. Good work by Diamond Creek going for the safety of the boundary line. And we will see a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. Katie Loynes back into the team this week for Diamond Creek. And that is quarter time, round 14 Swisse Wellness VFL Women's action. And Diamond Creek leading 1-3-9 to Melbourne Uni 1-1-7. Goal kickers up until quarter time. Britt Gretsch with the only goal for Diamond Creek. And Moana Hope with the late goal for Melbourne Uni. And well, for the first 17 minutes of the game, it was tough work and neither team able to get a major on the board, but quick transition by both teams in the final 3 minutes, and we've got a real close ball game on our hands.
Seems to be always the way, doesn't it? As you said, 17 minutes of no goals. As soon as one came, the opposition, in this case Melbourne University, came up with the quick reply. So it's tight, it's tough. It's going to be a little bit messy because of the conditions, but and also with so much riding on this with the double chance to be had in the finals in 2 weeks' time. Diamond Creek leading by 2 points. They've been in the top 2 all year. Big question is, can they stay there over the next hour of footy? Welcome back to Melbourne University's main oval here in central Melbourne for the second quarter of the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 14 clash for the double chance on the line between the second place Diamond Creek Creekers and the third place Melbourne University Muggers. It's a 2-point lead at quarter time to the Creekers as they look for a second win this year over Melbourne Uni. They won by 42 points back in round 8 at Plenty War Memorial Park. Chloe Malloy kicked 3 that day. She needs 1 today to share the lead in goal kicking and 2 to win it. We're underway in the second quarter with Anthony Stangerts.
Ball up, good tap down by Melbourne Uni. Adams getting the tap. They go up towards half forward. And Hay takes the mark. Edward goes inside forward 50 now. Cantwell over the ball. Diamond Creek defence holding it up. And a free kick's been found, and it will go the way of the Creekers at half back. A kick out wide through Hicks. No mark taken. Big booming kick puts Diamond Creek in their forward half. Grant tried to go volleyball style. She picked it up herself. Now she goes long to the open goal square. Malloy leading in the race for the football. Can she sucker it through? She misses to the left-hand side. And through for 1 behind. So 2 behinds on the board for Malloy so far in this game. And the Creekers moving on to 1-4-10. Melbourne Uni 1-1-7.
Pound's kick almost chopped off by Bernardi, who then laid the tackle. Trying to pick it up was Kennedy, couldn't do so. Pack converges over the football. Little hand pass out, came to the advantage of Hay. That is Elise Hay, who kicked up towards the wing. Dispossessed. There was Eva, and it's over for a throw-in. On the half-back line, and as I said late in that first quarter, I don't like the look of the dark clouds coming over the city. We might be in for another blast here, Anthony.
See whether we can turn the wind direction around before that arrives.
It's blowing straight towards us, and it's not looking promising as Conti breaks away for the Muggers up towards the centre of the ground. Bounces off, looked like it bounced off the chin of Rennie Hicks. And Gretsch will ensure it doesn't come out of there. And a ball up on that outer wing.
So tap down, back of the pack. Riddle gets a kick up towards half forward. Bernardi kicks it inside forward 50. Stevens leading back in the race for the football up against Williams today. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 35 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal. King to the right of screen during this second term.
And Anthony Shea Audley went down to the rooms just before quarter time, had treatment and strapping on a knee. She's been doing run-throughs at the start of this quarter, so we'll see whether she can get back out there or whether the Creekers are 1 down.
Well, they're already 1 down today, just going into this clash. So 2 players not passing fitness tests pre-game and playing a player short in this clash. Ball goes wide. They find Ashmore all by herself in the middle of the main oval. Kicks long up towards forward 50. Looking for hope. Moorcroft. Now the race. Sparks. Soccer's off the ground and through for 1 behind. It's not really a game of football in the opening minutes. Both teams soccering towards goal and going left of the post. But through for another behind, and Melbourne Uni moving on to 1-2-8, trailing Diamond Creek 1-4-10. Live here, main oval, Melbourne University. Anthony Stangerts and Brendan Rhodes with you this morning.
Get it forward by any means necessary is what they're thinking at the moment. Diamond Creek, a couple of, like a real boost last week, of course. They have players in their midst who are involved in the Irish Banshees, the World or International Cup champions last week in the women at Etihad Stadium. One of those was Laura Giray, who was the captain, not playing today. She's one of those ones that failed the fitness test before the game, but plenty of interest, and they've had to bring themselves down after a big couple of weeks for Team Ireland. As the Muggers move forward through Ashmore towards the top of the goal square. Hope couldn't take the mark. Quick hand pass out. Booted clear, but only as far as Ashmore again, who marks on the 50. In the long sleeves, Caitlin Ashmore wants to go backwards and into the centre of the ground to Eva. Or Stevens it is, who's come up off the half-back line. Nicola Stevens sets it into half forward. Was there a push? Crowd thought yes, umpire thought no. Caught was Saxton, and a ball up will be the result.
So early stages of this second term, round 14, Swisse Wellness VFL Women's action. Blackburn goes in hard and gives away the free kick. Play on. They go up towards half forward. And a good work, McIntosh. Left her opponent, backed herself in, just showing her experience. Taking the mark. Kicks it up towards half forward. Abertangelo taken high and will receive the free kick. They'll now need to try and set up the play. Grant moving her way down to the forward 50 as well. Creek is on the outer side. Kicking up towards Bernardi. Picks it up on the second effort. Dispossessed. They go long inside forward 50. Falls at the front of the pack. Good work by Pound. Keeps the ball in play. Kicking towards her teammate in Hay. And the ball goes out of bounds and we'll have a boundary throw in on the outer side.
And good news for the Creekers. Shay Audley is back on the ground and straight onto the ball. So they're back to their full complement of -1. 21 players lining up, as Anthony said a few minutes ago. Working through there was Loynes, went off the ground, picked up by Stevens at the back. She got dispossessed, hacked off the ground into the centre, unable to bend over and pick it up. Was the Creekers defender, and she left it behind again, did to Borderley. This creates the opportunity for Melbourne University. Ashmore goes off the ground, picked up and then just hacked forward again by Saxton. Through the pack it goes. Getting back there first for the Muggers is Conti. Fed it out wide. Pound didn't take possession. Dispossessed. Goes in again. Towards half forward it goes. Kick smothered off the boot. Conti gets it back there again for Melbourne Uni. Can't break out of the contest. And eventually Lachlan gets after the ball. Gathered now and then, caught and dispossessed, and holding the ball is the decision. Advantage quickly taken. Run away by Lachlan towards the wing through the hands of Hetherington. Numbers here with Melbourne Uni. Conti fed the hand pass over the top. The running support came from Eva. Gets around onto the right boot, kicks to half forward, but back safely is Kirby Hicks to take the mark for Diamond Creek.
Just behind the play as well, and Gab Pound in the hands of trainers, just struggling to get up after one of the last contests. The ball heading back in her direction now as Abertangelo for Diamond Creek goes up towards forward 50, gets over the fingertips of the Melbourne Uni defence as Lachlan goes out wide and finds the ever-reliable Alicia Eva. From our screens on Channel 7 with the VFL coverage yesterday to main oval here in Melbourne Uni today. She finds Hay in the middle of the ground. Elects to switch. She's got Lachlan out here on the broadcast side wing. Stevens just needs to pick it up. Kiochi over the football, dispossessed. Crowd not happy with no decision. McIntosh leaves it for Lachlan. Now they've got Spark all by herself. An addition to the All-Stars team this week. McIntosh at the back, Spark again buttering up. Centering, kick and intercepted. And Diamond Creek now a chance to set themselves up. Williams goes long. The breeze will play a factor in this as well. Malloy got her hands to it. At the back of the pack, Pound back up and running, and there'll be a free kick. It'll go the way of Chloe Malloy. Probably too far out to score with this breeze. But she'll go back and at least have a shot and try and see whether she can bring up a 30-second goal of the season. The crowd next to us.
It'd be an amazing effort if she can kick a goal from here in these conditions.
Well, the breeze coming directly at us in our commentary box. So it'll be, she'll be kicking right into...
I'll say no chance.
The breeze. She goes long, kept it low. And the mark taken by Pound and Melbourne Uni clear.
Good to see she's recovered. Spark gets in and takes a very good mark. She was Melbourne Uni's best player in their loss to Diamond Creek in round 8. Hope comes up to the wing, shrugs one tackle, throws it on the boot and spirals it up towards half forward. Back with the flight of the ball goes Hetherington. Getting back there first, however, was Rennie Hicks, I should say. Hope chops it off, sends it back into the pocket again. This will skid away on the surface water, and Hetherington is happy to see it over the line for a throw in.
It was good teamwork by Diamond Creek. It was 3 versus 1, and the 3 won out Well, they just couldn't get that clearing kick away. Moana Hope, good play, just going long inside forward 50, didn't have the options, and creating that ball inside their forward 50 arc again.
Shearlaw tapped it over the back. Hope couldn't get through. Caught with the football there. Looked like Saxton gathered now for the Creekers. Little hand pass out, wrapped up. Eva rips it out of possession of her opponent. Now gathered by Blackburn, who somehow got through traffic, kicked towards the top of the goal square, but safely back there for Diamond Creek. And I think that's Williams who's taken the mark on the last line of defence. Brings it out to Telecar's side, and it's thumped over the line and out of bounds by Blackburn. I don't think you've seen many people run as hard as Alicia Eva just did to get off the ground for a spell. She'll need that spell to get over the run off.
Maybe she saw the weather radar and saw what's coming our way.
It's as black as their Guernseys across the city at the moment.
Free kick, and now reversed, I believe, and it will go the way of Emma Carney.
And 50.
So, giving away a perfect opportunity here, the Creekers, as Carney will line up from directly in front. Top of the goal square. And should and does give Melbourne Uni the lead in this contest. The first goal of the second quarter. And it moves Melbourne Uni on to 2-2-14, leading Diamond Creek 1-4-10 halfway through this second term. Round 14 action in Swisse Wellness VFL action. Anthony Stangetz and Brendan Rhodes broadcasting live today from the main oval here at Melbourne Uni. And if we had that live ladder that Channel 7 likes to use, we'd have Melbourne Uni moving into that second spot on the ladder.
Well, I do have the live ladder on my computer, but the weather conditions have left it in the bag. so I could have been able to fire that up for you. Maybe in the second half after this second storm goes through. But that's the difference. Percentage doesn't. The percentage is much stronger for Diamond Creek, I believe, isn't it? But Melbourne Uni. Oh no, there's only about 3% the difference.
Correct.
Yes, so it was Darabin whose percentage was way out in front, just remembering from the last time I looked at it last night. Out of the centre, the Creekers, quick kick away towards half forward. Elise Hay tracks it back for the Muggers. Hand pass, got rid of it, and then was tackled without the football. Umpire let it go. And it's over for a throw-in. Bernardi it was involved there. So throw-in. Half forward for Diamond Creek. Nearly 13 minutes gone in the second quarter. Just the 3 goals in the game. 2 kicked by Melbourne University. 1 over the back by Shearlaw. Stevens tries to go through off the ground. Ashmore worked out of the contest by Abertangelo. Diving in there was Ibrahim with a good tackle on Saxton. And it's another ball up. Cold and windy at the main oval in Melbourne University. And Riddell can't get it away. And we'll do it all over again. As Candice Adams and Emma Grant both prepare to come back onto the ground for their respective teams. Ball comes out to the wing. Bernardi, can she pick it up in front of Hay? She can't. Kiochi tries to go through. Also there is Ashmore. Work towards the line and eventually over for a throw-in.
I was thinking that if I was one of those 2 players pre-game doing the fitness test and you had to sit out there during the hailstorm, maybe I'd err on the fact of...
Just put a little bit of a limp on, wouldn't you?
You'd err on the fact of wanting to spend the day in the full tracksuit and sitting on the sidelines. But ball in dispute on this broadcast side wing. Lachlan got the kick away. Good soccer by Saxton. Kiochi goes in hard for the football. The ball goes over the line. Saxton seeing it over the line. A good fierce tackle by Spark. We'll see a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position.
Katie Lyons shrugging off a head clash there with one of her teammates. She's a little bit sore in front of us here.
We mentioned about the weather in the background. Hopefully it lands during half-time and times itself nicely during the break.
We can run for cover.
As kick away by Hicks, out of bounds, touched. And we'll see a boundary throw and not out on the full.
Once again, he's right on the line and we're about 5 metres away, but yeah, certainly different angles create different results from what I saw then.
Right in front of us, you saw it live at home. Good afternoon, or good morning to those tuning in. Still half an hour to go till afternoon. Soccering it along in front of herself, Kennedy. Diving in over the top, Williams. Pound trying to get it out. Melbourne Uni working hard. Pound at ground level again. Abertangelo makes her work hard for the football. Umpire saying, give the ball to me. We'll have a ball up. We've got 4 points the margin as we count our way down to half-time in this round 14 clash.
Yeah, just over 4 minutes remaining till the break. As we'll get another boundary throw in right in front of our telecast position here at the main oval. The margin is 4 points in favour of Melbourne University. Rucks to battle again. Good throw in. Over the back it goes. It was one down by the Creekers. Trying to work her way through with strength was Grech. And Audley is mobbed by 3 muggers, or mugged you could say. And we get a ball up. So right in front again of broadcast again. Big fly and tap down by Adams. Away they go through. Lachlan just threw it on the boot forward. And camp behind the ball is Williams to take the mark. Brings it back into that massive players in front of us. Mark was dropped by Loynes and, well, absolutely dumped into the mud puddle by Alicia Eva. Gretsch up against Adams again. One down front spot by Adams. Loynes left it behind. Conti shrugged out of one tackle, got it to Stevens, back to Eva. Around the corner she goes, up and under kick, slap to ground. That was beautifully done by De Bortoli. It released Brazzali, the 100-gamer Downey. Gets a kick away. Abertangelo's got some space if it can get across to her. Pressure's on here. Abertangelo can arrive. It was taken by Kennedy. Needs the support. Can't find it. The cavalry arrives and we'll get a ball up. That was very well done indeed. By the Melbourne University defender who got back there and managed to wrap things up in a 2-on-1 contest. Ball out the back, snap around the corner from Audley is wide and out of bounds on the full. So still a 4-point margin as we tick into the last 2 minutes of this first quarter. Pound will bring it back into play.
And just confirming on the live ladder, Diamond Creek 0.5 ahead of Melbourne Uni at the moment. So Diamond Creek on 188.30 and or 0.05 I should say, and 188.25 the percentage differences. So at the moment,
currently on level points, Melbourne Uni coming from a game behind today, aren't they?
Correct. So it will come down to percentage, and you'd think that they need to probably be two goals up, Melbourne Uni, to try and get that second spot on the ladder.
We'll get the live ladder fired up in the second half to make it a little bit easier than Anthony with pen and calculator in hand.
We got there in the end.
We got there.
We got there.
We always get there.
Want to make sure that we're accurate for our viewers at home. Boundary throw in. Broadcast side wing. Counting down towards half-time. This round 14 clash. Final round. Swisse bonus VFL women's action. Abertangelo, ground level. Honey Loynes also fighting for the football. Bursting her way through was Conti for the TAC Cup girls teammates for Calder Cannons on opposing teams today. Monique Conti and Chloe Malloy.
17, Monique Conti. Doing a good job, having a good day today.
One of our dual sport representatives out on the field. Great basketballer playing for Melbourne Boomers. As umpire just asking them to clear out.
Not a bad effort to be playing National League basketball at 165 centimetres.
Correct. Kick forward by Downey. Trying to get her hands on it. Kennedy. Pound doing a fantastic job in defence today for Melbourne Uni. And the siren about to sound here at Main Oval. And at half-time, it is Melbourne Uni with the only goal of that second quarter. They lead 2-14 to Diamond Creek. 1-4-10, so 1-1 to 1 behind during that second term. Goal kickers for Melbourne Uni, Moana Hope and Emma Carney kicking one apiece. And for Diamond Creek, their only goal scorer of the game so far, Britt Gretsch, kicking that at the 17-minute mark of the first term. Looking at the live ladder, as we mentioned, and it is Diamond Creek still in second spot on the ladder. They are 188.3%. Melbourne Uni 188.25%. So that live ladder meaning Diamond Creek at this stage would be matched up against Darebin in a qualifying final in a fortnight's time, and Melbourne Uni at this stage would be playing St Kilda Sharks. But that is half-time. The weather's just about to come in on our broadcast position once again here at Melbourne Uni. So we'll take a break for half-time, and we'll be back in about 15 or so minutes' time with the big second half of round 14 Swisse Wellness VFL Women's action. Melbourne Uni leading by 4 points at half-time.
Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 14. Double chance on the line, and we're underway in the third quarter. Quick ball out of the middle. Left behind there by Saxton. Trying to pick it up cleanly. There was Pound. Quick kick forward by Carney. Taken away by the Creekers towards half forward. Could have been a free kick to Bernardi against Elise Hay. Umpire said no. Still working their way forward. Good tackle from behind. Some space for Brazzali. Snap around the corner inside 50. Malloy front spot. Punched away by McIntosh. Ball at ground level. Loynes had it beaten. Taken away from her. It's going to come straight back in through the agency of Kennedy. Almost the mark to Loynes. Not quite. Ball to ground level. Pinging around the top of the pack. Little ball back from Barden. Still a chance here, Diamond Creek. Chance for Saxton. She got dispossessed. And finally, the kick goes inside 50, front and centre. Williams got the hand pass off. Malloy, shrug one, tackle, snapped on goal. And missed to the left, to the right, I should say. And through for just one behind, which cuts the margin to 3. Melbourne Uni 2-2, Diamond Creek 1-5. Early doors second quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 14 action. Brendan Rhodes and Anthony Stangett's bringing you all the action on vfl.com.au.
Third behind of the morning for Chloe Malloy. Not what she needs for the Choose Tap leading goal kicker award. She needs 2 goals or at least 1 to draw with Darebin's Katie Brennan. Kicked 5 yesterday, taking her to 32 for the season. Welcome back to all our viewers at home. The weather gods were kind to us on this occasion, bringing the rain during our half-time break. Good work to our tech team, keeping the equipment dry during the half-time break. And we're back to bring you this second half. As Brendan mentioned, plenty on the line. The second chance is on the line.
And how tight it is. That single behind that Malloy just kicked changed the percentage gap from 0.05 to 0.76.
Wow.
So that's how tight it is.
So we're thinking if Melbourne Uni win, they need about 2 goals. Need to win by about 2
they
goals.
only need, well, they're 3 points in front now. The way I see it, 5 points will be enough.
5 points?
Because 1 point brings it back to almost level, doesn't it? Another point puts them in front. So there's nothing in it at all.
I'll bring you the updates on the live ladder right throughout the second half of this match.
The higher the score, of course, that both teams put together will expand that margin because it's based on what you concede, and so far neither team has really conceded anything today.
Certainly, and the other battles going on are this is for second spot on the ladder. The battle for fourth spot also occurring today, with Geelong taking on the Eastern Devils, sitting in 5th, and St Kilda Sharks taking on Cranbourne. St Kilda just needing to win, and they've secured 4th spot on the ladder. If they lose, it'll come down to percentage and whether Geelong defeats the Eastern Devils. So
and Geelong does have a stronger percentage, so St Kilda just has to do the business to stay in front, because if they don't, there's a fair chance they'll lose their spot to the Cats.
And St Kilda, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, probably that team that the other 3 in the top 4 at the moment we'll see as a bit of a danger, because they've had some pretty big scalps throughout the season.
They've beaten both of these 2 teams throughout the course of the year, so whoever gets them in the first semi, if that's how it turns out, as Grant got a quick kick away and gets a free kick. Gets a free kick 15 metres out directly in front.
Can she give her a free kick to Chloe?
No, she's giving it. It's Christina Bernardi who's got it.
Oh, they look where Chloe's gone.
She's right beside her. No, she snuck out the back, wants to run through, but McIntosh is well and truly awake to that. I'd imagine that's been tried a few times. Bernardi from 20 metres out, kept it low, kept it straight. And back in front, Diamond Creek. And back in safely into second spot for now. They're 2-5-17, the Creekers. The Muggers are 2-2-14. And we've played 4.5 minutes of the third quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 14.
Yeah, good goal in the end from Diamond Creek. Their first goal since the 17-minute mark of the first term.
15 for the season for Bernardi, so she's been a very good support act for Chloe Malloy in the forward line for the Creekers.
So here they come again. Kiochi handballs over the top, looking for Kennedy. Needs to trap it, can't do so. Well done by Hay. That defensive unit across the half-back line. Abertangelo diving over the football in front of Stevens. Still at forward 50 for Diamond Creek. Some fierce tackling, Lachlan. And we'll see a ball up. Beautiful sunshine here at Melbourne Uni.
If it wasn't in Melbourne, I'd say what's going on.
And it wasn't a total blackout during our half-time. We were just disconnecting the camera from the equipment to make sure everything was safe from the rain shower that came through during half-time. But you wouldn't believe us looking at the weather out here at the moment. And Melbourne Uni, the main oval. Abertangelo, long bomb to the goal square. Malloy in the front position, couldn't take it. Tackles pound to the ground. And no reward. Didn't have prior opportunity. The umpire will have a ball up. 25 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal.
So they've started this third quarter well, the Creekers. One down by Spark, worked out towards the line. Kick off the ground, Lachlan. Tries to get it across, and that'll be a free kick. High contact there. I think it's Ashmore who will take it. Just on defensive 50 it is Caitlin Ashmore. She goes short, too short, not 15, and that creates a problem for Stevens. Dispossessed. Barden tries to get it out, can't do so. Then the tackle is laid on Audley by Stevens. He was given forever to get rid of the football. Play on's the call. Out the back is Barden again. Swings onto the right boot, kicks back to the 50. Almost the mark taken by Stevenson, not quite. Grant made the spoil. And then player is grabbed by the ankle, and it's a free kick going to Melbourne Uni. Trying to milk the 50-metre penalty was Conti, but the umpire said, no, go back and take your kick. Across, a dangerous kick across half-back. McIntosh, was she pushed by Kiochi? No, said the umpire. Off the ground goes Stevens. Little hand pass back Malloy. Chance now for the Creekers. Saxton to Kiochi. Around the corner to full forward. Mark was dropped by Stevenson. Snap around the corner. Just off target from Bernardi. And through for one behind. She's got 1-2. And the margin is out to 4 points in favour of Diamond Creek.
From the kick in, Spark couldn't take it under good pressure from Kiochi. And a call for ball, a few of the Creekers fans. And they won't get it. We'll have a ball up. All right, tight on the boundary line. Inside forward 50 arc for Diamond Creek. They've done all the attacking in the opening stages of this third term. Round 14 action, Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. As we've mentioned all along, Chloe Malloy today is 3 behinds, needing 1 goal to tie with Katie Brennan of Darebin for the Choose Tap leading goal kicker, or 2 goals to take out the individual title by herself. Umpire being asked in again by the Creekers fans, not rewarded. And we'll have another ball up inside the forward 50 arc, Diamond Creek, leading by 3 points. Kick towards goal. In the front spot, Malloy again, tackled fiercely. She's received the free kick. Here's her opportunity. 3 behinds today. 1 will draw her level in on the title.
Just the 10-centimetre height difference caught McIntosh out. Then she reached over top, trying to knock the ball away, and the umpire was right onto it. So big kick this for young Chloe Malloy.
Right behind her. Let's see what she can do. Puts it through the middle, and we've now got joint leaders in the Choose Tap VFL Women's leading goal scorer, Katie Brennan and Chloe Malloy, both with 32 goals for the season. And Malloy still with a quarter and a half to try and take the title outright, as we'll quickly 3-6-24 Diamond Creek to Melbourne Uni 2-14, and that live ladder again, Brendan.
Yeah, it's blown out to 10%, so it's amazing what 2 goals can do apart from the 4 premiership points gap that the Creekers now have. But Chloe Malloy can write her speech, because she will win the goal kicking, at least in the tie, as Anthony just said.
No count back.
No count back. Good to see. Good to see. She's been in front from round one, Chloe Malloy, so certainly deserves at least a share of that title. A fantastic season she's put together, but there's more to come for her, she hopes, with finals ahead. Quick kick from Stevens, goes inside 50. Hope's got a metre, and that's all she needs. Moana Hope takes the mark. 37 metres out, directly in front. And to say the Muggers need this after a slow start to the third quarter is an understatement. She's kicked 1 goal, 1. Hasn't had many opportunities, really, Moana Hope today. As she comes in, kicks on its way, it's across the face and through for 1 behind. So 1 goal, 2 for Moana Hope. And Melbourne Uni go to 2-3-15. Diamond Creek 3-6-24. We've played 11 minutes in the third term.
So the ball to be brought back into play. Bring it back into play, Kennedy. Goes out, Moorcroft on the other side, brings it back in, out of bounds, and a free kick will go the way of Melbourne Uni. So Deanna Berry, first to the football, will take the free kick. A second opportunity. She goes round the corner to the goal square, comes out to the back, goes over the boundary line, and we'll see a boundary throw-in. Right in front of the scoreboard. 3-6 plays 2-3. Third term, Swisse Wellness, VFL Women's Action, round 14, final round of the season. Finals begin in a fortnight's time at Coburg's Piranha Park. And at the moment, one of those finals is looking like Darebin v Diamond Creek. Melbourne Uni v, well, either St Kilda or Geelong. St Kilda in the box seat for that 4th spot on the ladder, needing to beat Cranbourne today. Ashmore high to the goal square at ground level. Minardi over the football. No one able to get it out. Now they're trying. Soccer off the ground by Loynes. Malloy, long way from home. Lachlan kicks inside. Forward 50 again. And Saxton clears for Diamond Creek.
Not for long. Conti should have taken the mark, didn't, then recovered and laid the tackle on Abertangelo. Well, that was Anderson who did that well. Quick kick away from Saxton again, front spot. That is a strong mark for Diamond Creek. And it's been taken by Grech. So Britt Grech plays on, kicked a goal in the first quarter. Goes to the outer side, Stevens. Managed to work her opponent under the football, got back and gathered it. Little hand pass over the top. Looking for help, it's not forthcoming. Strong tackle laid on Audley by Anderson. Stevens gets in there again. And we'll have a ball up. Elise Hay, the last player up. Midway through the third term, Diamond Creek have kicked 2 goals to sneak away. Audley, hand pass was chopped off by Lachlan. Snaps it around the corner, back towards half forward. Numbers are back. And the mark is taken for the Creekers. Centering ball across the half-back line. Grant's going to be beaten for this by pace. It was good work by Spark. Can she keep it in right on the line? Grant won the football. Great desperation by Emma Grant. And then she got dumped after she got rid of the football. And a downfield free kick will be paid to Kiyochi. She's got to go behind her mark. She puts 1 foot behind it and then got caught with the footy. Well, she was told to go behind her mark. Kiyochi was that keen to play on that she just put 1 foot behind the mark, took off and ran straight into Alicia Eva, who said, "Thank you very much, I'll get the football off you." Eva goes short and finds McIntosh. Plays on quickly. Goes into centre half forward. Not a good kick that. And an uncontested mark taken for Diamond Creek on the half back line by Riddell. She goes wide and turns it over again. Shearlaw will bring it back towards half forward. Spark the target over her head and it'll slide away and over for a boundary throw in. I don't think I don't think Kiochi actually realised that Eva was there, or if she did, she backed herself to beat her. That Eva is a quality footballer and wasn't allowing that to happen in a hurry. The former teammates at Collingwood, of course. Ball out of the middle. Lachlan goes off the ground towards centre half forward. Tracking through was Ibrahim. Can't get there. Kick off the ground again. Picked up by Stevens. That was very well done. Sizing up the options there was Kristen Hay. Kicked inside 50. Ibrahim head down over the football. Possibly caught high. Play on was the call. Flicked out the back. Saxton. She was wrapped up. Uni supporters want holding the ball for Cantwell. Couldn't do so. Flicked out now, and Brazzali just throws it on the boot and bombs it back to the wing, but it's coming back once more.
So Stevens now,
Kristen Hay.
Hay on the outer side, setting up the play. They go inside forward 50 now, can't take the mark. Cantwell at ground level again. Diamond Creek now the team under pressure in their defensive 50. Melbourne Uni not making them pay at this stage. We count down towards three-quarter time and the final quarter of the season coming up. Second chance still alive. Grant goes on to Hetherington. McIntosh doesn't take the mark, under plenty of pressure. Gretsch gets the soccer away but will be in danger. A free kick will go the way of McIntosh.
And there's 47 goals on the bench here for Diamond Creek waiting to get back on. There was no one for them to go to because Bernardi and Malloy are both outside the boundary line in front of us.
Oh, their other leading goal scorer, Abertangelo, now has the ball. Kicks long to a vacant forward 50. Gab Pound leads in the race for the football. Has time. Brings it out to this broadcast side wing and finds McIntosh. McIntosh has got Blackburn calling for it. Loins meets it. Kiochi handballs backwards. Finds Audley. Audley to Hetherington. Hetherington with a handball. Oh, slippery football. Now kick forward. Good work by Riddle. Abertangelo kicks long to the goal square, but it's all Melbourne Uni. Pound again. She's the goalkeeper for Melbourne Uni today.
Get anyone off and get one of these girls back on. They had no one to kick to.
So Melbourne Uni a chance through Hay. They go long on the outer side wing now. Chance for a rebound inside their forward 50. Moana Hope in the race for the football. Tackles her opponent to the ground. Moorcroft goes down. Carney now fighting for the football. And we will have a ball up at forward 50. And finally, Diamond Creek get their key targets back out in the park, but it's back down in Melbourne Uni's forward 50 again.
Yeah, both of them had to bolt down into defence to fill the gaps behind the ball. Still a chance. Quick kick out of there from Carney. It'll bounce away towards the line and trickle over for a boundary throw-in. So the margin is 9 in favour of Diamond Creek. It's been a fantastic quarter for them. Less than 2 minutes remaining. If they can protect this zone for these last minute and a bit. Spark taps it down. Quick kick Hetherington. Who's that to? Dangerous. It was well read by the Creekers. And now it'll be taken away by Barden. Kick up to the wing. Gretsch has got 3 to beat and beat them all. Great mark, Brett Grech. Plays on. Which way to go? Has the running player for her. That's Brazzali. Will it sit for her? Kicks off the ground. Chasing hard for it. Stevens will get across there first for the Muggers. Tries to go clear. Can't do so. Brazzali dives in again. And at the base of the pack, the umpire says, give it to me. So they could have been away. They were away, but it just didn't sit up for Lauren Brazzali in the middle. One down for Melbourne Uni by Adams, and it flicks out the back at the last second and charging away from there. Looked like Lachlan looking for Spark across on the telecast wing. Can she get down and pick the football up? She did very well. Fed the hand pass out. Arriving was Conti. Went back to Spark. Could use Eva. Decides to flick it over the top. That was good work. Eva stepped around traffic. Oh, that was well done. Kick on the boot towards half forward. Hope with a couple to beat. Ibrahim with an opportunity. Bumped off the football by Moorcroft. Then she maybe gave her a push. Hope runs onto the ball and then left it behind. and slipping over and over the line it goes. For a throw-in, Rennie Hicks wanted it out of bounds on the full, but I think it rolled and I think it was off her boot.
Great defensive pressure by Moorcroft and Saxton. And that is three-quarter time. What a game we have on our hands. That quarter going the way of Diamond Creek. But Melbourne Uni not out of this race yet. And at three-quarter time, round 14 action, it is Diamond Creek 3-6-24, leading Melbourne Uni 2-3-15. One behind a Melbourne Uni that term to Diamond Creek kicking 2 goals too. And more importantly, Chloe Malloy kicking her first of the afternoon and drawing level with Katie Brennan for the Choose Tap leading goal scorer in the Swisse VFL women's competition. All single goal scorers in the game so far, and for Diamond Creek, Gretsch, Malloy and Bernardi each kicking one, and Melbourne Uni's goal kickers Carney and Moana Hope. It is three-quarter time in today's game. After the break, we'll bring you the live ladder. We don't need to talk percentages at the moment because Diamond Creek, that game clear of Melbourne Uni, and or 2 games clear of Melbourne Uni going into what will be finals in a fortnight's time. Piranha Park in Coburg, the qualifying and elimination finals, first versus second and third versus fourth. We'll run you right through it all, but a big finale coming up here at Main Oval at Melbourne Uni, and we'll bring you the final term right after this break.
Final quarter of the home and away season for these two teams. Who will take second spot on the ladder? The Creek is in the box seat, leading by 9 points, and Chiocci got it across to Brazzali on halfback. Brendan Rhodes and Anthony Stangett's with you at Melbourne University main oval. So Swisse Wellness VFL Women's round 14 action. And the Creekers will go forward towards the 50. Oh, great piece of work, running hard there from Riddell. Kicks inside 50, almost the mark, but Bernardi, umpire says no, didn't hold on long enough. And now we'll get a ball up about 35 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal. 3-6-24 Diamond Creek, 2-3-15 Melbourne University. Trying to work her way through was Loynes, couldn't do so. Picked up by Pound for the Muggers. Threw it on the boot, sent it back out towards half-back. Gathered now by Hetherington, who kicked it up towards 50. Diving into the contest and possibly giving away a free was Ashmore. Umpire said play on. Flicked it out wide. Stevens couldn't pick it up first go. Got it on the second attempt. Sent the kick out wide towards the wing. Running hard to provide the option for her was Berry. Beaten for it beautifully by Rennie Hicks, and away she goes. Into the centre of the ground it goes. Not a great kick off the outside of the boot. Just hacked away and over the line for a boundary throw-in by Emma Carney. And we get the stalemate.
They're passionate, the Creekers supporters nearby, calling for every free kick possible.
There are a good number, as you mentioned earlier on in the game, of Falcons colours around the place as well, keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, looking at their opponent in week 1 of the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Finals, a fortnight's time. September 10 as Chiocci just takes the ball over the line. Oh, ball!
Yep, quite happy with that. She made absolutely no attempt to do anything but run for the line. So if it wasn't holding the ball, it was deliberate out of bounds.
Emma Carney goes backwards. McIntosh unable to get it on the half volley. Oh, good pressure from Williams. Crowd calling for Williams. A free kick again. Pound at the back. She's had a great game today. Goes wide. Now they'll start to set up the play again through Eva at half back.
She's a star, Alicia Eva, one of the contenders for the league best and fairest, I would imagine.
Yeah, playing in the AFL Women's All-Star game, one of 7 Melbourne Uni players next weekend, next Saturday night at Etihad Stadium. Free entry, live on Channel 7 and Fox. And running through some of those names, Alicia Eva, Ellie Blackburn, Caitlin Ashmore, Emma Carney, Nicola Stevens, Moana Hope, and Lauren Spark, all to take part in that game. And the Creekers to play in that game next Saturday night are Alison Downey and Steph Chiocci. So 24 VFL women's players in total as Malloy. Not one of those, not on a AFL list last year. Kicks across the half-forward line. Stevens now. Got the run of Ashmore. Just needs to pick it up. She does. Stevens trying to create the shepherd. As Ashmore goes back in towards the middle. At the back of the pack, Moorcroft. Could have been pushed. Umpire not seeing that one. Ball held up at half forward. And we will have a ball up. Final term, round 14. Second spot on the ladder, on the line. And at the moment, Diamond Creek in the box seat.
Tell you what, those names you just came up with, it's a who's who of women's footy, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Quick kick inside 50. Chance here for the Muggers. Anderson couldn't take the mark. Off the ground, Saxton. Still battled for it. Anderson got rid of her with strength. Now got it across to Lachlan. Fed the hand pass back. Eva needs to try and step back inside. Does so. Kicks to the top of the square. Berry got it across. Good tackle. Rushed across the line. Berry possibly could have had a shot herself. But it's through for one behind to the Muggers. And the margin is back to 8.
Well, Moorcroft. Important kick in. Kicks in short, half volley through the legs of Chiocci. Butters up well though, kept her feet. It's a handball away to Downey. Along this broadcast side wing, was looking for Riddle. Stevens now, onto Ashmore. Played well today. Williams though, the intercept mark. No one in the forward half for Diamond Creek, so they have to hold up the play. They kick in short. Not able to find Kennedy with a short kick. Stevenson hit hard. Loynes over the top, and we'll have a ball up on this broadcast side wing.
Everything on the line for these two teams. Double chance come finals time. A chance of a added break rather than elimination finals for the first 2 weeks of the finals. Boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. Crowd calling for deliberate once again. They got the holding the ball decision last time. They didn't get the deliberate this time.
So boundary throw in right in front of telecast. Tapped over the back by Shearlaw. She's done that pretty well today. It's not coming out, and there'll be another chance for a hit out for her and the 100 gamer Alison Downey. Terrific player for a long time, the 33-year-old for Diamond Creek. Ball up in the air. Downey got the tap that time, trying to work her way through was Cantwell, couldn't do so. Desperation from Loynes, and it slid over the line for a throw in. 24 plays 16 in favour of Diamond Creek. Second spot sticking with the Creekers for now. Downey got to the front, but Shearlaw got the double tap on it. Off the ground, Blackburn managed to pick it up at the second attempt, got it across to Conti, who kicks inside forward 50. Chance now, and that could be a push. No, said the umpire, rolled her well to ground level. Ibrahim thrown out of the contest, and the umpire says sling tackle. And a free kick to Hannah Ibrahim. And the vice-captain can line up from, well, it'll probably challenge at the distance. The player on the mark will be about 42 metres out from goal. So it'll need everything she's got, although she does have the wind at her back. Just 4 goals for the season in 8 games for Hannah Ibrahim. Kicks low, doesn't get enough on it. Numbers with Diamond Creek at the last line of defence. Eva's still a chance here for Melbourne Uni. Hand pass just went behind Blackburn, kicked off the ground. Hope's there for the Muggers. Can she get clear? She does. Threw it on the boot to the top of the goal square. But again, the numbers are with Diamond Creek, and a safe mark taken by Avatangelo.
Kicks in short, makes it tough for Kiochi. Gets around her opponent in Spark though. Brings along this broadcast side wing. Comes out to the back. They'd be happy to see it over the line as Williams goes slipping and sliding over the boundary line.
She enjoyed that too.
She did.
Big smile on her face.
Good to see with so much pressure that the players can still enjoy it and love the game out there on the field. We're enjoying bringing you this broadcast today on VFL.com.au. Anthony Stengers and Brendan Rhodes as Hope goes up towards half forward. Handball comes out to Blackburn. Couldn't pick it up. Trying to extract it. Kick off the ground. Hope goes in for it again. Gretsch went over it and holding without it. So free kick will go the way of Moana Hope. Eddie Loynes just holding up the play. Hope. Almost everyone inside the forward 50 arc for Melbourne Uni as the intercept mark taken by Saxton.
Been very good down in defence today for Diamond Creek. Stepping around Kiochi. Very fleet of foot when she needs to be, Steph Kiochi. Gretsch. Can she get it out? Managed to flick it backwards looking for Banani, who then left it behind. Handball out to Stevens on the left boot, up towards full forward. Oh, solid clash of bodies. Ground level, snap around the corner. Came from Ibrahim. No mark taken by Spark. And it's a ball up, about 40 metres out. A bit closer to 35, but Melbourne Uni pressing. They need 2 goals to get second spot on the ladder, or to get the percentage talking again in their favour. Little hand pass came out. Opportunity for the Muggers still. Lachlan was mugged, and it's a ball up. The Mugger got mugged back.
He did.
The ball up 52 metres out from goal for Melbourne Uni. Kiochi wrapped up by Blackburn. And then they both end up on the ground on top of the footy. And the ball up once more, 51 metres out from Melbourne Uni's goal. The next band of rain looks like it's going around us, thankfully.
And it needs to last till the end of the quarter until we get back to our cars.
Adams can't get through. And we'll have another ball up once again. I tell you what, the wind can go away. It is freezing here at the main oval. And to take the jacket off to protect the live scoreboard on the computer, the live ladder on the computer. And ball up number 7 in this passage of play. They've gained about 5 metres towards the goal. The Muggers. Adams won it down, unable to break through Saxton. Ball up number 8. Maybe you can split them up.
Let's see what we can do inside the forward 50 arc for Melbourne Uni. Trailing at this stage in this final term. Diamond Creek at this stage setting up a head-to-head battle with Darebin in a qualifying final in a fortnight's time at Piranha Park, September 10. As Gretsch gets the kick away. Not letting their opponents in Hay go anywhere. Gretsch again soccers it towards the boundary line. They'll be quite happy to see it over the line. Stevenson put her opponent under pressure. We'll see a boundary throw-in right in front of our broadcast position.
Seems a long time ago that Darebin was 1 and 2 and languishing in 7th on the ladder, isn't it?
Yes, 10 on the trot.
11 actually, to get to 12 and 2. So, and they have been imperious in most of those, the Falcons. But these two teams will both feel they can get them on their day. And they'll get their day in the finals, or at least one of them will in 2 weeks' time. Ball towards the line, Kiochi. Got dispossessed, diving in Barden. Ripped out of there by Conti. Great piece of play that. Eva dodges, weaves, steps, calls for it touched, and now is furious when the boundary umpire says out on the full. Discussion between the umpire and the field umpire has listened to Alicia Eva and says touched off the boot, throw it in. I think you could tell by the reaction from Eva that she was certain it had been touched. So boundary throw in right in front of our telecast position once more. Freezing, windy, wet, sunny, everything in Melbourne today. And that will be a free kick. Oh, how has Alison Downey not get a free kick there? She was absolutely manhandled. And Emma Grant will get one here. She got a quick kick away. Kiochi was in fact the one dealt with, and she'll take the free. So I don't understand how a player can be grabbed on both shoulders, reefed to the ground without the football and not get a free kick.
So ball to be brought out a defensive 50 from Diamond Creek, heading towards the boundary line. The ball over the line, and we'll see a boundary throw in. 8 points the margin. 13 and a half minutes gone in the final term.
Severely worried that my computer's going to go flying here in a minute with this wind.
I'll keep the breeze coming this way as the next wave of showers comes through. Good work by Adams in the ruck. This game far from over. As the minutes tick down at second spot, getting ever further away for Melbourne Uni and Diamond Creek. Ever look like cementing that spot in second spot on the table. The ball over the line in front of our boundary, in front of our broadcast position once again. And if you've just tuned in, Chloe Malloy, 1 goal in this game, giving her a share of the Choose Tap VFL Women's leading goal scorer of the year with Katie Brennan from the Darebin Falcons. So both on 32. And Chloe, as Steph Kiochi kicks it out of bounds on the full, Chloe now has just over 5 minutes to get 1 more goal and claim the title for herself.
Bit of byplay on the bench here between Shay Audley and Kate Shearlaw. Shearlaw didn't look like she was too pleased about it all as the ball goes out of bounds. And Audley having some discussions with one of the Melbourne Uni supporters on the bench as well.
And the two players just coming back onto the field, not even on the ground.
Yeah, and on the bench are fighting over who's going to get the footy. Boundary throw in front of Scott Gowans and the Diamond Creek interchange. Ball towards half forward it goes. As light rain starts to fall again here at Melbourne University. Kiochi with the free kick, goes short and finds Riddell. Ashley Riddell will bring it straight down the line. They're hanging on desperately. That kick will bounce on the line. No, said the boundary umpire, but definitely hit the line for me.
Different directions.
Free kick to be taken here by Pound as we start to get wet again.
One saving grace as the ball is on this broadcast side wing. As the rain comes down at the third or fourth occasion here at Main Oval at Melbourne Uni. Diamond Creek holding it up once again. They hold an 8-point lead. It's enough for them to hold second spot on the ladder. Melbourne Uni needing to get 2 goals, and 2 goals very quickly. And holding free kick, and Katie Lyons will take it. Still plenty of feeling in it. 8 points the margin. Last 5 minutes of the season, or the home and away season. These two teams will both play finals. Lyons just showing how slippery the conditions are out on the field. And they're getting slippery in our commentary position as well as the rain. Bring it into the broadcast position. Here's a chance for Melbourne Uni. Carney, long bomb inside forward 50. McIntosh inside the forward 50 arc. And Malloy now in the role of defender. Up against Cecilia McIntosh. So Malloy far from home to try and get her 33rd for the season. And 3 minutes left in this contest.
And it looks like Diamond Creek will find a way to hang on and get second spot as Lachlan gets a quick kick. Kiochi has been in everything in the last quarter, and she finds the boundary line and gets it over for a throw in.
Now we did ask the rain guys just to hold off until we made it to our cars.
They just thumbed their nose at you.
They did. They'd worked in pretty well with the break so far in this game.
Yeah, pre-match and then half-time, but the luck has run out for us and for the players.
Our tech team have put on the wet weather gear to our equipment, so for our viewers at home, we hope we get through the last 3 minutes for the broadcast for you. 8-point margin in favour of Diamond Creek, and they're looking, should I say it, looking home.
Yeah, I think they're home. It'll be... after only 5 goals in the whole game, Melbourne Uni will find it hard-pressed to find 2 goals in 2 minutes to win it. Free kick here for a high tackle to Gaby Pound. And Lyons just managed to take another 5 seconds off the clock there. Pound, short, looking for hope. Diving effort, doesn't take the mark. Ripped out of her hands by Gretsch, who promptly kicks it straight to Bard and out of bounds on the full. And she took the ball 3 metres outside the line and tried to play on. Just tricking the umpires, not that time. Slap forward. Here's an opportunity now for Gretsch. She dives in, goes again. Now she's dragged it under and has to tap it out. Kiochi can't shrug the tackle. Got a quick hand pass away. Desperation time now. Hay to Lachlan, I should say. Picked up now by Eva, who takes off. Centering ball to half-back. Mark was dropped there by the Muggers. Last minute of this game. This is Carney, who got dispossessed. Gang tackle comes in now, and the umpire calls for a ball up. Diamond Creek certainly safe. Certainly will have the double chance that they've held all year, and certainly will play Darebin in the second semi-final.
Chloe Malloy sprinting from the back line now. She's lined up on Cecilia McIntosh. One last opportunity to get the goal-kicking title.
Anna Carney will be saying to Katie Lyons or to Bo Bernardi, whatever you do, don't kick it to Chloe. In fact, it's Gretsch with the free kick. She kicks in towards full forward, almost the mark. A push in the back. Push in the back, and it's a free kick. And Lisa Williams will have the last say of this game.
10 seconds left. I don't think they'll get the handball off to Chloe.
No, she's standing on the goal line, so she's not in the play. So Lisa Williams will have the last kick of the home and away season. Diamond Creek have the double chance. They have the win, and Lisa Williams doesn't score. It's short. It doesn't matter. The Creekers win by 8 points here at the Melbourne Uni main oval. 3-6-24 to Melbourne University. 2 goals, 4-16 in tough conditions for football. But that's exactly what we're going to see a lot of in the finals starting in a fortnight's time.
I can run you through them. Britt Gretsch won along with Christina Bernardi and Chloe Malloy. That all-important 1 goal that she needed to draw level with Katie Brennan to share the Choose Tap leading VFL women's goal kicker of the year. And for Melbourne Uni, goal scorers Emma Carney and Moana Hope, both in the first half, they're single goal scorers. So in that final term, it was just the one behind going the way of Melbourne Uni, and that was the ball game. Diamond Creek holding on to play Darebin in a qualifying final in a fortnight's time, Piranha Park in Coburg on a Sunday afternoon, a doubleheader with the elimination final, which will now have Melbourne Uni versus either St Kilda or Geelong. St Kilda wins today, they're into the finals. If they lose, it'll all depend on the Eastern Devils versus Geelong match. But for all the finals details, keep an eye on vfl.com.au. Brendan, thank you very much this afternoon. We're both going to go off and thaw out along with our tech team.
Yeah, straight into the car and off down the freeway for another one this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly.
Better commentary position I've got looking forward to there down at Frankston Park.
So congratulations to Diamond Creek locking in second position on the ladder, and also well done to Chloe Malloy claiming her second goal-kicking title of the year, claiming the TAC Cup Girls competition win, and also getting a joint winner with Katie Brennan from the Darebin Falcons from our team, as Alison Downey's chaired off in her 100th game. Congratulations to her as well. She'll be taking part in the All-Stars game next Saturday night at Etihad Stadium. Free entry and broadcast live on Channel 7 and Fox Footy, along with another 9 players that were all part of today's game, and her teammate Steph Giocchi, one of those from Diamond Creek. That's it from Main Oval at Melbourne Uni. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time, bringing you live finals action right here on vfl.com.au. Enjoy the rest of your day.